Stigmergy. Stigmergy is another type of interaction. We previously discussed interactivity. So there are two basic types of interactivity. One we previously discussed in the previous module, that was connectivity, and this is another type of interaction called the stigmergy. So stigmergy is basically a consensus social network mechanism of indirect coordination, and that coordination must be through the environment. In this case, in this type of interaction, the organisms in the natural system, they are not directly interacting with each other. The interaction is wholly and solely being done through the environment. In principle, the traces left in the environment are basically sensed by the organisms, and they are basically responding to that traces which was left by the previous agents, and the coordination being done in this manner. For example, in this figure, we can see that ants population is following a path, but the coordination here in this case is due to the pheromones, the traces of pheromones left by the previous agents in the air. So all the agents are basically sensing these traces of pheromones in the environment, and they are responding to that pheromone traces, and they are following the same track. So the coordination among the previous agents and these present agents are being done due to the traces of pheromones in the environment. So this is a very good example of stigmergy in social insects. The term stigmergy was being coined originally by Paul Grace to represent the coordination among the termite species in during their nest building. When termites build their nest, they coordinate with each other, and in the same case, the coordination is not basically a direct coordination; it is an indirect coordination with the help of that environment. So, stigmergy is a coordination representing an indirect coordination among the species of different organisms, and especially in the case of insects. So also sometimes called indirect communication. The environment is basically mediating the communication. The medium used here in the case of stigmergic coordination is the environment. Now this stigmergic coordination may be through different sources like antenation. There are antennas present with some insects, and they can coordinate with each other through these antennas. The antennas of different insects receive some signals from them, and then they respond to these signals due to this antenation process. Or trophalexis is another very good examples of stigmergy. In case of trophalexis, there is an exchange of either food or liquid exchange being done in between or among the organisms, or especially the insects. There may be coordination between the organisms due to some visual contact. So again, this is another indirect communication. Or it may be some mandibular contact or some other contact. There are different types of contacts may be done. In this picture or figure, the ants are coordinating with each other for food and liquid exchange, and a very good example of trophalexis in ants, in African ants. Stigmergy is a form of self-organization social network, and produces complex, seemingly intelligent structures without need for any planning, control, or even direct communication between the agents. So in this case, it's not usually required that the agents are aware of each other, or they have pre-planned something, or it's also not required that they have some sort of higher level of intelligence. आमतौर पर इस तरह भी हो सकता है कि जो लो इंटेलिजेंस वाले एजेंट्स होते हैं वो एक दूसरे के साथ थ्रू स्टिग्मर्जिक रिलेशनशिप एफिशिएंटली कोऑर्डिनेट कर रहे होते हैं, आपस में कोऑर्डिनेट करके एक बड़ा जो टास्क है वो परफॉर्म कर रहे होते हैं। तो इसमें जो इनडायरेक्ट मीडियम यूज़ हो रहा है इन्वायरमेंट का, इसके थ्रू सारी कम्युनिकेशन हो रही है। तो जो हमने इंटरेक्टिविटी में डिस्कस किया कि ऑर्गेनिजम्स एक दूसरे के साथ इंटरेक्ट करते हैं, तो इंटरेक्शन के ये दो टाइप्स है। इंटरेक्शन या तो कनेक्टिविटी के थ्रू होगा कि डायरेक्ट आपस में एसोसिएशन होंगे या लिंकेजेस होंगे, जिस तरह हमने नेटवर्क के केस में देखा, या फिर जो कनेक्टिव इंटरेक्शन है वो स्टेगमर्जिक होगा, स्टेगमर्जी के थ्रू होगा, इन्वायरमेंट के थ्रू होगा। आपस में डायरेक्टली ऑर्गेनिजम्स जो है वो नेचर में डायरेक्टली एक दूसरे के साथ कम्युनिकेट नहीं करेंगे, थ्रू सम इन्वायरमेंट करेंगे। तो ये स्टेगमर्जिक रिलेशनशिप कहलाएगा और स्टेगमर्जी कहलाएगा इन ब्रॉड सेंस।